Welcome everybody to Fierce Friday. This is a Million Mom call, and I'm so proud and honored to be here on the council. My name is Allison Lester. I am a 2-star crown with Purium, and ever since day one have been a huge a huge lover of the Million Mom movement. Just spoke my language and so inspired and learned so much from this community. So I'm just forever grateful to be now a part of it on this level. I looked up to Taz, who was the one who introduced me to Purium, that was on the council, and just wow, this is just it was always an incredible honor. Taz blazed the trail for me to believe that I can do it too. I can be a part of this and step into this, new level of leadership. And so I'm just forever grateful for Taz for blazing the trail, and for Naiva and everyone involved with creating this incredible division of our community, the activist movement here. This is also our community and our space for sharing. And it's not just for moms. This is the movement of many. So we are we're looking for moms and caregivers and anyone who gives a darn, out there to make the world a better place. So it really takes a village. It takes everyone to raise our children better than what we got. And so we're just looking to reach as many people and as many communities as possible. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. Welcome, everyone. We're going to be talking about mushrooms today, but our incredible adaptogen mushrooms. We're going to have incredible shares. I'd love to see if anyone would like, if they could just raise their hand, if they would like to share our pledge today to get it started. Otherwise, I will just call on someone. All right, well, Kimberly Sanders, can I ask you to please share our pledge today? Oh, how do we unmute? Naiva's, oh. Can we unmute Kimberly? Is Kimberly able to unmute?
Okay, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
I was just reading it. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and the environment for future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom movement. We're so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much. I love that. Every time I hear it, I feel so, we need to be reminded every day of our why and why we're doing what we're doing, and sharing what we're sharing. So everyone should definitely read that pledge, and with such pride. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it over to our other council member, Shari, if please share it in the news. You're still on mute, Shari.
Yeah. I just realized that. Thank you. Thanks, Allison. Thank you, Kimberly, for reading the pledge today. So we are talking about adaptogens, right? And we know that there are two types of adaptogens. So we have adaptogen herbs, which are plants, and then we have adaptogen mushrooms. So they both act very similar in the body. And this was the first article that we wanted to share today because it gives a little bit more in depth about adaptogens themselves. So adaptogens are plants and mushrooms that help your body respond to stress, anxiety, fatigue, and overall well-being. You can take adaptogens by adding them to food or beverages, or you can take them as tinctures. Adaptogens bring your body back to a steady balance by managing both physical and mental stressors. And that's probably the most important thing that we should know about adaptogens, is that they're really a support system for our body. See, our body is always trying to keep itself in balance. So it's constantly working to be in what we call homeostasis, which is perfect balance. But of course, with so many factors affecting our bodies on a daily basis, like the toxins we're exposed to, stress, not enough time in nature, not enough sleep, not enough nutrients, all of these things create a situation where our bodies often get out of balance. And so adaptogens is a great way to help the body keep its balance, because when the body is in perfect balance, that's when we feel our best, right? That's when we have our top well-being, and that's when we can do all the things that we want to do. So what are adaptogens? Well, adaptogens are active ingredients in certain plants and mushrooms that may impact how your body deals with stress and anxiety and fatigue. Plants and mushrooms provide adaptogenic I got it, actions. When consumed, these plants target specific stressors in your body. There are 3 qualities that plants must have to be an adaptogen. So it has to be non-toxic when taken in normal doses. It helps your body cope with stress, and it allows your body to return to balance, homeostasis. Adaptogens work as a temporary bandage, but aren't a solution to long-term stress. So of course we know that it's never just one thing that's going to, solve all of our problems for us. We have to do, we have to look at it, the bigger picture, and there are many things that we need to do. So just adaptogens is one very effective factor that we can do, that we can add into our bodies, that we can take on a daily basis, that are going to make a huge difference in terms of our stress and anxiety, our fatigue, and our overall well-being and energy, our cognitive develop, all of these things that we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to hear from people who have had these amazing experiences so far. But we, of course, we have to recognize that we have to be doing other things within our lifestyles, right, to help those along. What do adaptogens do in my body? So the goal of taking adaptogens is to return your body back to that state of balance, that homeostasis. The herbal action in adaptogens increases or decreases chemical reactions within your body. For example, if you're stressed, you have elevated cortisol, right? So an adaptogen will respond by reducing those cortisol levels. If you experience chronic fatigue with low cortisol levels, an adaptogen will increase the level of cortisol in your body. So there are many types of adaptogens that exist. So we're not going to focus on the herbs today. However, we do have ashwagandha, which is found in our mushroom blend. So that's an important one to highlight. How do I take adaptogens? Well, we said we could do it in beverages, by capsule, by liquid form, or in our case, of course, we have our amazing superfood form. They can be they can be taken in tea, which again, we'll talk about the different ways that we use our mushroom blends, but definitely taken in water, especially we get to mix it with hop beverages, which is an amazing kind of new addition to how we view our superfoods and how we can consume them. Who should take them, or why should I take them? So why should you take them? Well, if you have elevated anxiety, reduce fatigue and or increase in energy, if you're coping with trauma, to help regulate your emotional reactions to stress, that's a big one, and to boost your immune system. I would add to this list for cognitive function, for mental health, right? These are some of the additional ways that I believe that adaptogens will truly make a difference in our health. And of course, just overall well-being and prevention, right? We want to prevent, we want to be our best selves, we want to keep our body in balance. And so we get to do that with adaptogen mushrooms. So this was the first article. And of course, we'll post these later on so that if you want to get into a little bit more depth on this. So this article, close some of these ads. Okay. Okay, so here are, not sure what's happening with okay. So these are some of the specific mushroom adaptogens that we have in our mushroom blends and that exist, and how they help us. So here are 6 types worth knowing about. Maybe you've seen the Fantastic Fungi documentary on Netflix, or recently noticed your favorite influencer sharing their newfound love for functional mushroom products, and it's piqued your interest in this emerging food category. So functional mushrooms are all the rage these days, with more food, drink, and wellness supplement products featuring these esteemed fungi popping up every single day. In fact, and this is amazing, in fact, the global functional mushroom market is expected to grow to over $19 billion by 2030. $19 billion by 2030. But what are functional mushrooms, and how do they differ from the shiitake, morel, and button mushrooms that we grew up eating? Are the purported health benefits associated with these medicinal shrooms legit? Consider this your one-on-one guide to functional mushrooms. So let's dig in. So what are functional mushrooms? Well, the world of mushrooms is wide and includes hundreds of varieties. Some are highly poisonous, but others have psychedelic properties. Some are edible, healthy, and perfect ingredients for culinary pursuits. Then there are mushroom varieties with particular impressive health benefits when consumed, including functional mushrooms. Functional mushrooms are mushrooms that have adaptogenic properties and health benefits beyond that of their nutritional value. So they were first coined in the 1940s. The term adaptogen refers to a group of compounds found in plants, but can also be found in synthetic forms that help the body adapt to stress of all kinds, whether it be chemical, biological, or physical. So this helps us to ward off any illness or disease that could be a result of these stressors and maintain our internal homeostasis. One review looking at adaptogens' overall illness prevention abilities, as well as their capability to treat viral respiratory infections, found these compounds to spring the immune system back into action, reduce inflammation throughout the body, detoxify and repair damaged cells, exhibit antiviral properties, and generally improve quality of life. So overall, of course, very impressive. These unique compounds have been utilized for thousands of years by ancient civilizations for medicinal purposes. There are over 70 naturally occurring adaptogens known today, including herbs and, of course, many mushroom varieties. Some of the most well-known adaptogenic mushroom varieties are lion's mane, chaga, tremella, reishi, cordyceps, shiitake, maitake, and oyster. When it comes to the health benefits, while every mushroom will have a slightly different nutritional profile, many types will offer similar overlapping benefits. For example, those associated with the immune boosting plant compounds or phytonutrients they all contain. So there's evidence that supports functional mushroom use for supporting a healthy immune system, stress response, exercise performance, and of course, brain health. While many studies are still generally small, in vitro, or animal-based, there's enough human research to suggest that they may have unique health properties. So these are some of the adaptogen mushrooms, functional mushrooms, and I'll just highlight the ones that we have within our blend. So we have lion's mane mushroom. And lion's mane mushroom is known to do so many things beyond, of course, so it's been linked to preventing and slowing cognitive decline in Alzheimer's disease patients, which is very interesting. And beyond the brain, this fungus has been found to have whole body anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and anti-cancer benefits, while also supporting heart and gut health. We have chaga mushroom. And chaga mushroom is, of course, another one that does so many different things in the body. Some studies support finding that chaga mushroom extract to inhibit signaling pathways vital to breast cancer cell growth. Other data shows that it can support gut and brain health as well. And we have tremella. We'll just go over these. Again, we're going to post these articles so you guys can take a look at these in depth. There's reishi. There's cordyceps mushrooms. The data shows that cordyceps mushrooms may have positive impacts on respiratory health, a variety of cancers, blood sugar regulation, kidney disease, and overall bodily inflammation. It also may help reduce exercise fatigue and viral activity. It's important to note, however, that many of these studies were conducted on animals, but, as we're going to hear from many people today, they'll let us know how they've been feeling with their, since they've been taking these mushrooms. I know many people, many athletes who use cordyceps mushrooms very specifically for training and for recovery after training. In fact, we have it in our MVP sport, I believe, right? And so that really helps with muscle recovery. So cordyceps mushrooms are really known to be fantastic for fitness. And then we have turkey tail mushroom, which I've always thought of as one of the biggest powerhouses of all of the functional medicine mushrooms. Evidence shows that turkey tail is a non-specific immune modulator, meaning that it generally boosts the entire immune system across the board as an antioxidant and helps to reduce bodily inflammation. And one study published just this year found it to have therapeutic potential for melanoma, which is interesting, and similar results for breast cancer as well. It's especially high in beta-glucan, and as well as vitamin D and B vitamins. Some people love to eat these mushrooms whole, while others prefer to have it in, well, a superfood supplement. And there you have it. So that's just a little look on some of the mushrooms that we will be highlighting today in our mushroom blends. I'm going to pass it back over to you, Allison, and I will post these links in our chat.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Those were amazing finds there, and those are great articles to share with your audience as well. So please grab that from the chat there, and also for you to just educate yourself more depth on what you're putting in your body and how beneficial these are. So actually, my personal healing journey actually started with mushrooms. I know actually Sherry and I were just talking about it earlier before the call that before Purium came into our life, we were already doing mushrooms. I started 10 years ago with reishi mushroom, and I got it from a Chinese herbalist, and this was before anyone was talking about it. Like, I felt like I had discovered it, when you feel like I'm like, I just discovered, and like, I mean, it's ancient Chinese like medicine. I mean, this is not something that but it like wasn't talked about in the mainstream. I never heard anyone else talking about. When I learned about these benefits, I was like, why is everyone not having mushroom in there? So I started talking about mushrooms well before I got into even superfoods and found Purium and everything. Actually, so I did experience benefits in my mental health and immune system and energy when I would boil my reishi mushroom. I would buy it in whole form and actually blend it myself and then boil it for like the ancient Chinese, like kind of the guy, he's very traditional. And he said, you boil it for like an hour. You really want to seep all of the benefits out. I love that on Wednesday's call, Dave emphasized that important thing. So I want everyone to know, like, to truly get the most benefit out of our mushrooms, we want to put them in especially, the mushroom blends that we have are designed to be hot. And so we want to let them sit. I make my water super, super hot, like boiling, to the max. And then I add my mushrooms in and then I let it sit for 5 minutes. And that also allows it to become a better temperature. And then you can add a little bit of, whatever kind of milk you use, organic milk, plant-based milk, or whatever you want to add in, to make it creamier. But it's really we get so much benefit from the mushrooms actually seeping in the hot water. And so, yeah, that was kind of my gateway into healing and actually opened my mind to Purium in the first place. I was really excited when I first even, looked at Purium for the first time. I noticed there was a lot of adaptogen mushrooms in their blend. So we already had the mushrooms we've been using in the Can't Beat This and in some of our protein MVP Sport and our Love Meal, Super Meal. So, we're incorporating those mushrooms in there, but I was so excited when I learned that. And I feel actually a little part of my story is I want to share. I actually asked Dave and Amy to create this mushroom blend because I saw they had all the mushrooms. So I don't know if it was exactly because of me. They probably heard it from other people too, but I feel I was a part of bringing this into our line because I said, a lot of our customers they're still drinking coffee and that's okay. I mean, and a lot of them are switching over to the mushroom coffee. There are some other, mushroom coffees there was coming out on the market. And I said, we already have all the mushrooms in Purium already. Why not? And also for a hot beverage, because us in Canada, I know, or most of the world right now, it's really cold. And it's great to have our superfoods every day, but we still want something hot. So I said, there's a big demand. We need something hot in Purium, some adaptogen mushroom tea or coffee, or I love they made the golden milk. So many options to have hot beverages for people who already, just get to replace probably a less version of, even if they were having healthy coffee, like this is just such a better version because we're getting a small amount of coffee in the blend, but actually from a really great source. So it's not like there's the mocha has a pressed organic coffee, but it has so much less than what is in a cup of coffee, but complete with all those adaptogenic mushrooms. The profile is so nutrient rich. It's just so rich, all of those mushrooms. So I was definitely so excited when they announced they were coming out. And I know everyone here was as well. And all our customers are just loving it. And even people who weren't necessarily open to superfoods, like everyone is open. Most people drink something hot every morning. And so it's an amazing intro level if some people look to coming into, you know, this lifestyle in that way. So I wanted to open the call up for a few shares now. I heard an amazing share from my dear friend Pamela recently. She shared with me some of the you know, what she has noticed in her experience since adding these in, and I would have to have you hear it from her mouth exactly. So Pamela, please unmute yourself and give us your share.
Thank you, Allison. Hello, Million Mom Movement. I went and found some writing samples today because, you know, seeing is believing. So, probably 3 years ago, just when I was starting into just as a customer with Purium, I had a really bad accident in a river where I nearly drowned several times and got beat up pretty bad by some rocks. And the day I got home from that accident, I went to journal and I had the most beautiful printing before and after the accident. Get in front of the camera. All my writing just went down. I could start going right across and then it would just all go downhill. And that's just a note I wrote at Christmas to somebody. I had no idea why. And it was finally diagnosed by somebody as dysgraphia. And like I can actually feel my hand, everything just turned. So there was something going on there, but I didn't have any doctors that they would refuse to look at me. They would just say, it's your mental illness. So then last year I got another really bad concussion. And I mean, even my reading skills, I couldn't read. I couldn't understand a lot of the words. I would have to look up so many words and I get so frustrated because it's hard to read something when you have to keep looking at words, and I wouldn't even understand the dictionary definition. I just have to go look at the synonyms and see what it was. And I also found that having the Audible playing in the background helped a lot. So to read a book, I'd have to buy the hard copy and the Audible copy, which, and then it just got so frustrating, I just wouldn't read it all. And then I picked up 5 Levels of Leadership the other day and was reading it with the Audible going, and I only had to look at one word, the synonym, and I couldn't believe it. And so I just started reading every day. And my mushroom blends, I have 2 a day. They're so delicious. I have 2 a day. And the other day I had to tell Allison right away because like I was just reading and I didn't even have the Audible on and I didn't even notice it until after. And then I went and wrote down my why, and it's all straight across the page. No hand turning upside down at all. And like it was bad. I went to a conference, last year, and an 8-hour conference, and I wrote 8 hours worth of notes on one page, all straight downhill over top, because I couldn't even get my brain to get around turning the page. And here I am back to my old writing. Now it's still slow. I still have to think about it, but that's such improvement in reading and writing skills with. And that's about it.
Oh my God, your story brings me to tears and just so proud of you. And I'm so happy for you to have this voice to share your story because so many people will be inspired by your story. Mental health is, huge. And, people feel that once they break their brain or they call themselves, I've heard so many people say about their brain, it's broken. I just want everyone to know how much we can heal our brains. And that story, Pamela, when you called me and not only did you read the book, but your comprehension of it, like you just because some people are reading and they're not really almost paying attention, but you hung on to every word, you relayed what you got from it. You were so, and truly like that is just such a gift to be able to read and absorb and get things from, what you're reading and then to be able to write again. Wow. That's just so amazing. I'm inspired and I'm just so moved. I actually was told I had a broken brain as well. So that's why Pamela and I really connected. It's just like, coming from this, a system that may tell you you're broken or your brain is dysfunctional. And we really believe it and it lowers our self-esteem and what we're capable of. And then to be given this chance to understand how our brains can truly heal themselves and given that hope that it can through sharing each other's stories. So important. So 2 a day is amazing. What's your favorite, Pamela?
Oh, the mocha mushroom. I need it in a giant bag. Like, we can't beat this. Seriously, it's just so good. But today and yesterday I've been drinking because I'm almost done mocha. I gotta start drinking this golden. I added a spoonful of the dandy blend to it. And I mean, Tammy used to talk about the dandy blend. I was curious what it was, so I had to go get some. And I love the golden
Wow.
with the dandy blend in it. So now I'm like drinking that. So and
Amazing.
now both of them are my favorite.
Amazing. Amazing. See, you can make it your own too. If that's the thing. I love that there's 3 flavors that we have now, which is the golden milk, which doesn't have any caffeine. So it's amazing for the afternoon and even evening. And then we have the mocha and so the mocha is delicious. I agree. Mocha is my favorite. I don't know if anyone drop your favorites out in the chat. I'd love to hear your favorites, but the mocha, I agree. Note to corporate and everyone, we want a bigger bag because it really is actually like I'm ordering them every month now and I'm running out. So it's so good. And then, the other one as well, the mushroom essential blend, I like to add into other shakes. So I just made myself a frozen banana smoothie with the Epigenius and a little bit of MVP Sport as well in there. And then some of the essential mushroom blend in there. And it was so delicious, like an iced coffee, like an iced chocolate coffee. It was just so delicious. So there's so many ways we can add and mix and match, add our own flavors. You may want to add cinnamon or whatever you want because they're just a great base. But they taste amazing on their own as well. So thank you so much, Pamela, for that share. Yeah. Did you want to add anything?
Just the mental, I mean, I went in with a concussion and was just told that there's nothing wrong with me. You have a mental illness that you needed to go get medicated for. And I left out with a severe concussion. So I never even went to the hospital or the doctor for the next concussion. So like, we truly have to look after ourselves. That's all there is to it.
Yes, beautiful message. This is what we're all about here is empowerment, self-empowerment. We need to be our advocates. We need to truly, in this world, learn to educate ourselves and connect with the right people and be our own advocates for our health. because a system like that will definitely try and make you feel crazy, which some of us have been down that road. So we come here and we realize we're not. We just needed the right tools and the right support. So that's what we're about here. So thank you so much, Pamela. I have to go on and also ask Dan Tomilty, are you out there? I know Dan has been talking about the mushrooms every day on his, I'm always seeing him drinking his mushrooms and talking about them. And actually that symbol is now like the mushroom is like associated with you, Dan. It's so cool. I love how you share it, and please unmute and share what, what it's done for you, what you love about it.
Well, hello, everybody, Million Mom Council and everyone who joined this incredible call this afternoon. I mean, a man such as myself, struggling with attention deficit disorder, growing up as a child, having that cognitive thinking. So in terms of my overall brain health, these essential mushroom blends have helped me exponentially in terms of my mental health, my overall cognitive thinking, my immune support. These cordyceps mushrooms, all of them actually, the chaga, the lion's mane, the agaricus, all of them, the ashwagandha root, they're all incredible. Like they all have different similarities, but they're all very different in that way. I would say if you're very, skeptical on like the turmeric or the pepper, maybe golden mushroom may not be so much for you. If you like to, replace your coffee in the morning, definitely go for, the mocha, which is actually, a pretty big fan favorite. And then also, the essential, just the plain old essential mushroom blend, having fun while doing it. So like Allison said, mixing that with your MVP sport. I add it to my MVP sport. I haven't really tried it any other way. I know, like this is a fairly new product through Purium. So this is, we're still in the learning process. It was just dropped back in November of 2023. So this is relatively still a very new product to our product line. Have fun while you're doing it. I encourage that, to enjoy it warm. If you can, find your oat or almond based creamy beverage of choice. I prefer to have it warm. Obviously organic, non-GMO plant-based milk. But I would just also like to say one more thing. Is if you actually got the 3-pack with the tumbler, there's like these things that came up. I didn't really know how to use it at first. I was, this is a new thing as well, the tumbler that we have. So what I found is I got my my straw and I actually put it in that little hole there, and then you're able to enjoy it that way. So if there's different ways, like, we're learning as we go, guys. Like I said, I'd encourage everyone, if you're, pretty much like thrown off by the turmeric or the pepper that may be in the golden, try the essential. Like even the plain one is good. It's got that raw organic cacao in it. So they have the similarities of the mocha, but then it doesn't have that cold pressed juice extract from the mocha. So they all kind of have similarities, but then they're all unique on their own, coming from the MCT oil to the ashwagandha root. This is all traditional Chinese medicine, like you said, Allison. And, there's many different other mushrooms out there on the market. You're probably paying like 20, 30, $50, at your local organic grocery store. But this is the purest, cleanest, and the only one that probably comes in a biodegradable packaging. You see all the other ones that got big cardboard tubs and things like that. So, all 100% organic, USDA approved, non-GMO. Like these are the functional mushrooms that you want to jump on board with. But overall, I love all three. I can't really speak negatively about either one. I love the 3-pack, so pick up the 3-pack when, yeah, there it is right there. Naiva just pulled it up. So that's our essential mushroom pack, variety pack. Unfortunately, we do not have the tumbler anymore. When it was first dropped, you were able to get that tumbler, but have fun, like I said, while you're doing it, and you can always just put it in a mason jar. One more quick tip: get a like a milk frother from like Amazon or wherever you get your, like a home hardware. I live in Canada, so go and get a milk frother and then mix it up that way. You can go old school and get like a mixer. You know what I'm thinking of? So you can pretty much just mix it up and then let it steep for 5 minutes. But I hope everything that I have brought to the movement of many, the Million Mom Movement Council, and to all of you, tuning in. It is whisk. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, whoever dropped that in there. I love and appreciate you guys. And yeah, I think that's all I had to share today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much. Great tips in there. Some really good tips, definitely. Yeah, I also learned with that tumbler that in order for the release to be smoother, and Jar just like told me this the other day. I was like, what? I've been coming out so slowly out of the tumbler. You have to open that little part that you put the straw in there. That has to be open and then it just flows out freely. So yeah. That was a great tumbler. I hope they come back. I hope they bring them back. I love that tumbler. So thank you, Dan, for your and for someone who also struggled with ADD and learning disabilities. What a lifesaver it is to have these adaptogenic mushrooms. It really helps. So even for your children, like incorporating these mushrooms, that's why they have it even in the MVP family. There's some mushrooms in there. There's adaptogen mushrooms. So there's we want to get these mushrooms into all of our bodies, and especially with people who have any kind of have had any mental challenges. This is going to really, really support you. So thank you everyone for your shares. Naiva, did you have anything to share on that, or Tammy, our other council members?
I'd love to share. I've been really loving the essential mushroom blends. I was also somebody who already was diving into, my own making mushroom teas. My mom has been boiling chaga since I was little. She boils it every day and adds it into our teas. She adds it into different recipes that she makes. And the cool thing about chaga when you have it in the raw form is that you can boil it and reboil it and reboil it because it just continues to release the medicinal benefits. And so the great thing that we have with our essential mushroom blends is it's already in a powder form. So when you're consuming it, you do have to heat up the mushrooms so they can release their medicinal powers. And so you do want to steep it for at least 5 to 15 minutes in hot water so it can really have that release. And then if you want to make it into something cold, you can always add ice to it and make it cold or blend it into other recipes. But you're getting the powder of the chaga and these other mushrooms into your body. So it continues to release those medicinal benefits inside of our body, which is phenomenal. And I think it's so genius that we're getting it in this form, that it's releasing the medicinal benefits into the water when we make it into, our mushroom blends that we're drinking. But then it's continuing to release those benefits inside of our body continually after we've consumed them. So that's really awesome. I have been somebody who grew up with chai, so the golden milk is right up my alley, having something with turmeric and ginger and all those yummy warm flavors, especially right now in the colder climates. Having these warmer beverages is so great. And of course, I think the mocha mushroom is everybody's favorite. My whole family loves that one. And what I do love about just the plain essential mushroom blend is that it is so versatile. I can't remember who it was, but somebody here actually made soup with it. Was it you, Pam? Pam made soup with it, and she actually added it into her recipe for her soup. And I was like, of course, like you can cook with it. You can put it in your gravy. You can put it into whatever you're making to just enhance the flavors, enhance the medicinal benefits of the food that we're eating. Because let's face it, the food we eat equals the quality of the life that we live, right? That's one of Dave's quotes. And so, you know, we really do have to fortify our food nowadays. So much of our food is deteriorated of nutrient density because of the soil it's grown in. So being able to add these into our foods and into our recipes is so phenomenal. And so, yeah, thank you so much, Allison, for giving me an opportunity to share.
Thank you, Naiva. I know your mom is old school healer, medicine woman. So you're so lucky you had that inspiration, and it's so great that you're, passing that on. And yeah, amazing. Tammy, I know you wanted to, are you able to give a little share? How are you out there, Tammy?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Allison. So my teenagers were addicted to Starbucks, and we've been loving the coffee protein. And now I've been adding the essential mushrooms into the coffee protein, and they absolutely love it. They're craving it. They're asking for more every day. So that's been our favorite way to enjoy it. And I really love the golden mushroom just straight up by itself. That's my favorite at night. I go for that one.
Amazing. Yeah, there's something for everyone and something for every time of day too. Like that's perfect. We have our evening relaxing turmeric, which has so many amazing benefits for inflammation. And I know you use a lot of turmeric in your cooking too, Tammy. I always see your yellow cooking. It's always so delicious and appetizing looking. So definitely amazing share. That's so what a win to get your kids off of Starbucks and have a healthy replacement, because that's the idea, right? All we are here to do is, we're not here to like tell people they have to restrict themselves. We're here to transfer what they're doing into something better, because that is what we are here to do. And so that's what we have here. We have options that are better than what people are doing now, and then they can make those baby steps, those positive steps and that will lead to more positive steps. So amazing job, Mama. Thank you. Sherry, did you want to share a little bit? I know, go ahead.
Sure. Thanks, Allison. Well, like you said earlier, when we were talking, we realized that, we've tried some of the same brands in the past because we both really recognized adaptogen mushrooms for what they were capable of doing. And there was two issues I had with some of the brands that I used in the past. Like, of course, I did the research and tried to find the ones that were cleanest, but it's very hard when you're dealing with other companies to find that connected path of like really getting to root of like, okay, where is it grown? Where is it harvested? How is it, getting to me? What is it packaged in? So there was, a lot of red marks, unfortunately, like red X's, with a couple of green marks, and it was the best I could find. And so I was like, well, okay, it's better than nothing. But here, what I love is that, first of all, of course, we know with Purium, we have no question with it. All of that is answered for us. We can get that information really easily. We know that the utmost care is being given to how it's being harvested and brought to us. And also what I love is that in these blends, it's a lot of the mushrooms together. Other products with adaptogens tend to use maybe one or two. And so I was always like at the grocery store having to choose like, okay, this week, maybe I'll get this one. And then maybe next week I'll get, but I knew that the adaptogen mushrooms, they work synergistically together. So the more of them that you can take at one time, the better they're going to be for you, right? They're going to work together, they're going to be stronger. So I love that we get so many. You don't have to choose. I mean, the only issue you have is really which flavor am I going to use, right? Like, what do I feel like? The golden one or the mocha? I love both of those very much, but the one we're going through really quick as a family is the essential blend. And I think it's because it's so versatile. You could just put it in so many different things. And so way back when I started adaptogens, I was adding them to my coffee at the time when I was still having coffee in the morning. My coffee then shifted to a matcha. And now the adaptogens I used to use have now shifted to Purium's mushroom blends. And so I put the essential one in there. We have a lot of raw cacao lattes as a family. Raw cacao has so many health benefits, and especially for my older son with type 1 diabetes, there's a slew of reasons why it's really important to have as much of that as he can. And so he loves it. So I'm usually making at least one a day. And now I get to add the essential mushroom blend in there as well. And they don't know the difference. I mean, they know it's in there and they're like, oh, it tastes the same, tastes great. And they're getting all the benefits of the mushroom blends. And what we were mentioning with Dan's testimonial and Allison, what you were saying about ADHD, like there's so many studies that show like the adaptogen mushrooms really do help us with focus and memory, attention. And so those are things that, of course, if you have ADHD, you struggle with, but then just kids in general, you know, find today they are bombarded with so much information on a daily basis in the 7 or so hours that they spend in the classroom, and they're expected to retain so much of it. This is literally brain food. So this is what we want to get into our children, because this is what's actually going to help them retain that information that they're being given on a daily basis and help them reduce the stress that's associated with having to learn all of that. So
Amazing. Totally relate with your share about being in the grocery store. When I was buying from another company, I would have to, do I want turkey tail or do I want chaga? Like, oh, what do I have to decide? I love that we have these blends that have everything. If you guys want to learn more, definitely watch the Fantastic Fungi, like was mentioned earlier on Netflix. There's amazing information.
Each and every one of you here is a part of the Million Mom movement. Without you, it would not be the same. And so we want to invite you to not only take the pledge and print it out, put it on your fridge, share it with your community, be proud of what we represent, but also we'd like to invite you to like, follow, and share what we have here as part of our community. Invite others into our community. And so you can like our Facebook page where our events for these Friday Zooms are posted. So if you don't know that yet, go to our Million Mom Movement page on Facebook. There's a little events tab. All of our events for February are already up. So please go and join those events, invite people to those events, and share those events far and wide into your community. Also, join our community at Million Mom Movement Official. That's where the replay gets posted with all of the links that we shared here today. So if you feel like you missed any of those links, it will be posted shortly. And then, of course, follow us on Instagram. That's where I repost your stories. That's where I can repost your reels and your posts. So please use our hashtag so that I can find you more easily. And then, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can have first access to all of our replays when they get posted. So thank you all so much for joining us here today. And Allison, I'll pass it back to you for any last words.
Well, like we see in video games, mushrooms mean level up, right? So let's all drink those mushrooms and share them and level up together. And just thank you all so much for being here and for being a part of it. And thank you, Tracy, for that incredible training. I hope everyone saved those links and we'll be able to get them to anyone who wants. And just thank you, everyone. Thank you, council, and everyone here. Thank you.